What if everything you thought you knew about France was wrong? The world's most visited country has homes without air conditioning, cafes where no one rushes you out, greetings that involve kissing strangers on the cheek, and unwritten rules that can instantly reveal you're a tourist. Before you visit France, discover the surprising truths most travel guides never tell you. Introducing France. What makes France feel familiar even before you arrive? Located in Western Europe, it stretches from the Atlantic Ocean to the Mediterranean Sea, with the Pyrenees in the south and the Alps in the east. Paris, its capital, is home to landmarks such as the Eiffel Tower, the Louvre Museum, the Arc de Triomphe, and the Champs-Élysées. But France is far more than Paris. Medieval towns, vineyards, royal chateaux, alpine villages, Atlantic beaches, and Mediterranean ports create a remarkable variety of scenery. For centuries, France has influenced global history, art, architecture, literature, fashion, cuisine, and political thought. Today, about 69.1 million people live in France. In 2025, the country welcomed an estimated 102 million international visitors and earned a record 77.5 billion euros in international tourism revenue, reinforcing its position as the world's leading tourist destination. To travelers, France may appear romantic, elegant, and deeply traditional. Yet daily life follows unwritten rules. Greet people before asking a question. Use formal language when appropriate. Respect meal times. And remember that customs vary by region. Behind the postcards is a country of strong local identities, proud traditions, refined pleasures, and habits that may surprise outsiders. This journey goes beyond the monuments to discover how people in France actually live. French girl aesthetic. The art of effortless style. When people think of French fashion, they often imagine luxury brands and glamorous runway shows. But the everyday style of French women is surprisingly different. Instead of wearing bold trends or changing their wardrobe every season, many prefer a timeless look built around simplicity, quality, and confidence. A typical French wardrobe often includes classic pieces like a well-fitted blazer, a white button-down shirt, straight-leg jeans, a trench coat, a little black dress, leather loafers, ankle boots, and a neutral handbag. Most outfits are designed to mix and match easily, proving that elegance doesn't require an overflowing closet. This approach reflects the philosophy of less but better. Rather than buying large amounts of inexpensive clothing, many French shoppers invest in fewer pieces made from high-quality materials that can last for years. This mindset also aligns with the growing popularity of sustainable fashion, second-hand boutiques, and clothing repair across France. Perhaps the biggest secret of the French girl aesthetic isn't the clothing at all. It's the attitude. French women are often admired for looking polished without appearing to try too hard. Natural makeup, simple hairstyles, and self-confidence are considered more attractive than chasing every new fashion trend. In France, true style is often seen as an expression of personality, not a competition to own the latest designer item. La BISE, France's distinctive greeting tradition. One of the first social customs that surprises visitors in France is la bise, the familiar greeting of lightly touching cheeks while making a kissing sound. It is not usually a romantic gesture. Instead, it is a sign of friendship, familiarity, and social connection. La bise is most common among relatives, friends, close co-workers, and people being introduced in an informal setting. In more formal situations, a handshake is often safer, especially between strangers or in professional environments. Age, region, relationship, and personal preference all influence whether la bise is appropriate. The most confusing part is that there is no single national rule. Two kisses are common in many parts of France, but some regions traditionally use 1, 3, or even 4. People may also begin on different cheeks, creating an awkward moment for visitors who are unfamiliar with the custom. The COVID-19 pandemic changed this tradition significantly. During periods of social distancing, many French people replaced la bise with waves, verbal greetings, elbow gestures, or simple handshakes. After restrictions ended, the custom returned, but not always with the same frequency. Today, some people embrace it again, while others prefer more personal space. The safest approach is to pause, observe, and let the French person make the first move. Why is France the world's most visited country? Every year, millions of travelers choose France over every other destination on Earth. In 2025, the country welcomed an estimated 102 million international visitors and generated a record 77.5 billion euros in tourism revenue. But what keeps people coming back again and again? For many, the journey begins in Paris. Few cities can match its collection of world-famous landmarks, from the Eiffel Tower and the Arc de Triomphe to the Louvre Museum, home to masterpieces like the Mona Lisa. Beyond the capital, France offers more than 45,000 historic chateaux, Roman ruins, Gothic cathedrals, and dozens of UNESCO World Heritage Sites that tell the story of over 2,000 years of history. Nature is just as impressive. Visitors can ski in the Alps, relax on Mediterranean beaches, surf the Atlantic coast, hike through lavender fields in Provence, or explore vineyards stretching across Bordeaux, Burgundy, and Champagne. Each region has its own landscape, traditions, cuisine, and local identity. France is equally famous for its food, fashion, art, and wine. From Michelin-starred restaurants to neighborhood bakeries, from Paris Fashion Week to centuries-old museums, culture is woven into everyday life. Traveling is also remarkably convenient, thanks to the country's extensive high-speed TGV rail network, modern highways, and well-connected airports. Whether you're looking for romance, history, outdoor adventure, luxury shopping, family vacations, or world-class gastronomy, France offers it all. It is this unique blend of timeless beauty, modern infrastructure, and rich cultural heritage that continues to make France the world's favorite travel destination. Climate change and France's intensifying heat waves. France may be famous for mild summers, shaded cafes, and centuries-old stone buildings, but extreme heat is rapidly changing daily life. According to climate records, heat waves have become far more frequent in recent decades, with more than half of France's recorded heat wave events since 1947 occurring during the past 15 years. The summer of 2026 made that trend impossible to ignore. France experienced 3 major heat waves by mid-July. June 2026 became the country's hottest June on record, with an average temperature of about 22.7 degrees Celsius or 72.9 degrees Fahrenheit, roughly 3.8 degrees Celsius above the seasonal average. During the most intense periods, temperatures approached or exceeded 40 degrees Celsius in several regions. The surprising problem is that air conditioning is still uncommon in France. Recent estimates suggest that only about 1/4 of French households have it. Many apartments, schools, hotels, and historic buildings were designed to retain warmth during colder winters, not release heat during prolonged summer extremes. Instead, residents rely on traditional methods, closing shutters and windows during the day, opening them after sunset, using fans, avoiding ovens, and placing damp cloths near open windows. Work schedules, school activities, travel plans, and public events may also be adjusted during official heat alerts. These habits once seemed sufficient. But as the climate grows warmer, France is being forced to rethink how its homes, cities, and lifestyles are designed. Soccer and national pride in France. In France, soccer is far more than a sport. It is a shared national language that connects cities, suburbs, immigrant communities, and generations of supporters. When Les Bleus play, cafes fill with fans, televisions appear on outdoor terraces, and entire streets seem to pause for 90 minutes. France entered the 2026 FIFA World Cup as one of the tournament favorites, backed by a squad filled with elite talent. The team won its group matches and advanced through the knockout rounds before facing Spain in the semifinals on July 14th. Although France lost 2-0, its run once again confirmed the country's place among international soccer's strongest nations. At the center of everything was captain Kylian Mbappé. During the tournament, he became France's all-time leading scorer, passing Olivier Giroud after reaching 58 international goals. His speed, finishing, and leadership made him the symbol of a new French generation. Other major names included Ousmane Dembélé, Michael Olise, Bradley Barcola, Désiré Doué, William Saliba, and Aurélien Tchouaméni. During major matches, the atmosphere can be unforgettable. Fans wear blue jerseys, wave French flags, sing La Marseillaise, and celebrate together in cafes and public gathering places. Victories can transform ordinary avenues into spontaneous festivals. Even after defeat, soccer remains a powerful source of identity, debate, emotion, and national pride across France. Café culture and the slower rhythm of French life. In France, a café is not simply a place to grab a drink and leave. It is part of the social landscape, a setting where people meet, think, talk, read, work, and watch the world go by. In cities like Paris, Lyon, Bordeaux, and Marseille, sidewalk terraces often remain busy from early morning until late at night. Many customers order a small espresso, a glass of wine, or a simple aperitif, and stay at the same table for a long time. The experience is rarely rushed. People may read a newspaper, have a long conversation, or simply observe the movement of the street. This tradition of people watching is almost an art form in itself. Unlike in some countries, servers usually do not bring the check until it is requested, and customers are not normally pressured to leave as soon as they finish their drink. A table is treated as temporary personal space, especially outside peak hours. French cafes have also played an important role in the country's intellectual and artistic history. Writers, painters, philosophers, musicians, and political thinkers once gathered in famous cafes to exchange ideas. Today, the setting may be more casual, but the purpose remains similar. The cafe is still a place for connection, reflection, and relaxation. This slower rhythm does not mean that life in France is always calm. Instead, it reflects a cultural belief that time should sometimes be enjoyed rather than constantly optimized. Dining etiquette in French restaurants. Eating at a restaurant in France can feel very different from dining in many other countries. Some customs may surprise first-time visitors, but they are simply part of the French approach to food and hospitality. One of the first things many travelers notice is the lack of ice. Soft drinks, water, and even iced beverages are often served with little or no ice unless you specifically ask for it. The focus is usually on enjoying the original flavor of the drink, rather than keeping it extremely cold. Another common surprise is that free refills are generally not offered. Unlike in some countries where unlimited soft drinks are standard, each beverage is ordered and paid for separately. However, if you simply want drinking water, you can politely ask for une carafe d'eau, a complimentary pitcher of tap water that restaurants are legally allowed to provide upon request. Tipping also works differently. In France, service is typically included in the bill through a mandatory service charge known as service comprise. Because of this, leaving a large tip is not expected. If you receive exceptional service, many locals simply round up the bill or leave a few extra euros as a gesture of appreciation. Visitors should also be aware that smoking may still be permitted in designated outdoor seating areas, even though smoking has been banned inside French restaurants and cafes since 2008. On a pleasant afternoon, it's not unusual to see people enjoying a coffee, a glass of wine, and a cigarette while sitting on a sidewalk terrace. Understanding these customs helps visitors blend in and enjoy the French dining experience like a local. Everyday etiquette in France. In France, politeness often begins before the actual conversation. Whether you enter a bakery, ask for directions, or speak to a cashier, saying bonjour first is extremely important. Starting with a request and skipping the greeting can sound abrupt, even when the words themselves are polite. French also has two ways to say you. Vous is used with strangers, older people, customers, officials, and informal situations. Tu is generally reserved for friends, family members, children, and people who have agreed to speak more casually. Using tu too quickly may feel overly familiar, so visitors are usually safer beginning with vous, always. A few simple expressions can make a major difference. Say s'il vous plaît when asking for something, merci after receiving help, excuse-moi before interrupting, and au revoir when leaving a shop. Even a small effort to use these phrases is often appreciated. Line etiquette can be less obvious. In some places, especially crowded bakeries, train platforms, or market stalls, the queue may not form a perfectly straight line. The best approach is to notice who arrived before you, remain aware of your place, and politely say, excusez-moi, j'étais là, if someone moves ahead by mistake. These rules may seem formal, but they reflect a basic French principle. Respect should be established before business begins. What travelers should know before visiting France in 2026? If you're planning a trip to France in 2026, you'll notice that several travel procedures have changed. While the country remains one of the easiest destinations to explore in Europe, visitors should be aware of a few new rules before they arrive. One of the biggest changes is the gradual rollout of the European Union's Entry/Exit System, EES. This digital system is designed to replace manual passport stamping for many non-EU travelers by electronically recording entries and exits. Another upcoming system, ETIAS, European Travel Information and Authorization System, has been approved but has not yet entered into operation as of mid-July 2026. Travelers should always check official EU announcements before departure, as the launch timeline may change. Security also remains a high priority. France continues to operate under the VIVRE National Security Plan, meaning travelers may encounter visible police patrols, random bag inspections, and enhanced security around airports, train stations, museums, and major tourist attractions. These measures are a normal part of everyday life and are intended to protect both residents and visitors. Like many popular destinations, France also has its share of tourist scams. Pickpocketing is most common in crowded areas such as metro stations, famous landmarks, and busy shopping streets. Travelers should also be cautious of fake ticket websites, unofficial street vendors, and online scams offering skip-the-line passes. Purchasing tickets only through official websites is the safest option. One change attracting international attention in 2026 is the Louvre's updated ticket policy. Since January 2026, standard admission has been €22 for residents and citizens of the European Economic Area, EEA, and €32 for visitors from outside the EEA as part of a pilot pricing policy introduced at several major French cultural sites. With a little preparation and awareness, most visitors find France to be a safe, welcoming, and unforgettable destination. L'art de vivre, the French art of living. In France, success is not measured only by income or productivity. The idea of l'art de vivre, or the art of living, places equal value on good food, meaningful relationships, personal time, health, and the ability to enjoy everyday moments. Healthcare plays an important role in this sense of security. France's public health insurance system reimburses part of many medical expenses, while supplemental insurance may cover additional costs. Salaried workers are generally entitled to health coverage and, under certain conditions, benefits such as paid sick leave compensation. France is also famous for its 35-hour work week. This is the legal weekly standard for full-time employees, although it does not mean that everyone works exactly 35 hours. Overtime, management contracts, and industry agreements can create very different schedules. Paid vacation is another major part of French working life. Employees typically earn 5 weeks of paid leave each year, allowing many families to take longer summer vacations or regular breaks throughout the year. France also recognizes the right to disconnect. Companies are expected to establish boundaries around work-related emails, calls, and digital messages outside working hours, especially when constant connectivity could interfere with rest and private life. Of course, French life is not stress-free. Long commutes, demanding jobs, and rising living costs affect many households. Still, the cultural ideal remains clear. Work matters, but so do family meals, vacations, friendships, and time that belongs entirely to you. French cuisine and UNESCO heritage. In France, a meal is rarely just about satisfying hunger. It is a social ritual built around conversation, carefully selected ingredients, and the pleasure of sharing time with others. In 2010, UNESCO added the gastronomic meal of the French to its list of intangible cultural heritage, recognizing not one particular recipe, but an entire tradition of celebrating important moments around the table. A classic French meal may move through several stages: an aperitif, starter, main course, cheese, dessert, and a final coffee or digestif. The order, presentation, and pairing of food and wine are all part of the experience. Family gatherings, holidays, weddings, and Sunday lunches often revolve around this carefully structured meal. France is also closely linked to the Michelin Guide, which began as a travel guide created by the Michelin Tire Company in 1900. Today, its stars are among the most influential honors in global dining, although French food culture extends far beyond luxury restaurants. Bread, wine, and cheese remain everyday symbols of national identity. A fresh baguette may accompany almost any meal, while France produces hundreds of traditional cheeses and internationally famous wines. Each region has its own specialties: crepes in Brittany, bouillabaisse in Marseille, cassoulet in the southwest, coq au vin in Burgundy, and choucroute in Alsace. French cuisine is not one single style, it is a collection of regional traditions, each shaped by local history, climate, and ingredients. France is more than famous landmarks. It is a way of living shaped by culture, elegance, tradition, and everyday rituals. If you enjoyed this journey, subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and share this video with someone who would love to discover France.